All right, welcome back to another AP podcast. This is episode 52. 52? I think so.
Bro, I can't find the right lever on my freaking chair.
Peyton's already fumbling around. It's been a little bit. We've been really busy with college applications, schoolwork in general. So we haven't been able to get a lot. I'm doing a lot of card stuff. So that's been mainly what's on the channel recently.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get back into the swing of things. And one thing, we talked about the bubble for a while. We talked about playoffs, and then we just haven't said anything about the finals. I think it's been a really weird finals. It went from looking like one of the worst of all time to pretty interesting, I would say. Like, I really like both these teams. I honestly would be happy with either one winning, in my opinion.
I'd be happy with either one winning too, just because, first off, it'd be cool to see LeBron win another one, but most importantly, Anthony Davis, as a Pelicans fan, it'll be bittersweet.
Should have worn the Anthony Davis jersey.
It'll be bittersweet. I really want him to succeed. I'm still a little salty about everything. But at the end of the day, we got Brandon Ingram and a lot of other good pieces for him, as well as a ton of first-round picks. So it worked out well for both teams. So I'm not salty about it. I want Anthony Davis to succeed. He was my favorite player for 7 years basically. So I can't hate him. I did for a little stint. Had to get over it.
As soon as it happened, you were livid. I remember that. You were not
even
happy.
Then though, if the Heat win, got my Jimmy Butler card up there. I'm doing good if the Heat win.
I just like Jimmy.
I like Jimmy too, bro. I
remember when I was first getting into the NBA when he was on the. I wasn't really getting to. He was on the Timberwolves, and I mentioned to you, Peyton, and I was like, "What team should I be a fan of?" And I was like, "Maybe the Timberwolves." I like Jimmy Butler. Karl-Anthony Towns is good, and you were like, "No, dude, don't." No, you immediately were like, "Don't be a fan of the Timberwolves."
Bro, because the Timberwolves just breathe.
You were right. I'm glad I heeded your warning. But I feel like Jimmy Butler's one of those players that I actually kind of recognized and knew before. I've really been getting into it recently, but when I was a little bit younger. So I like Jimmy. I would love to see him get a ring. Bam. I really like Bam. Tyler Hero.
And really all the role players on the Heat are just electric. Even Jay Crowder has moments, not many people
I swear, every time I watch him shoot, he makes it. It's weird.
Every time I see him shoot, he misses, but that's beside the point. But not everyone can, slap LeBron on the face while he's taking a layup and come away from that confidently, just the swag Jay Crowder has.
Oh. Despite
his slightly feminine play occasionally. Do you know, I think that was Marcus Morris that said that, but
I don't remember that at all.
Marcus Morris. It was pretty sure he shoved Jake or Elfrid Payton or so. Regardless, Jay Crowder.
Something happened.
I don't really like Jay Crowder that much, but he's electric.
I don't know that much about him, but he brings a lot to the team, I think. I think he and Iguodala give a really good veteran presence. That's why Iguodala's even getting minutes. It's because he's been there and he knows how to tell these young guys. He and Jimmy I see as the leaders. I know that's weird to see Iguodala, who's old and can't really play basketball, but he's been there. He's one of the only players in the league that can say they have that resume. So, and he's always obviously been faced against LeBron before. So he's a really good situational guy for them.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the same defender necessarily on LeBron.
No. I'm not saying he is.
He has been a great veteran presence. Him and, Jimmy. Really for Iguodala, helping out the bench unit has been really nice.
He's been in that situation before, which is
I think. How many finals in a row has it been? 5?
Something crazy. He just keeps getting back to it.
Yeah.
He has I really like Iguodala. He has a good presence around him. I think his team kind of catches on to that.
Yeah. Definitely a hard worker and stuff. But so the last game was game 5.
Yeah.
And we can talk a little bit about the ending. I know Danny Green has been getting a lot of hate, as well as Markieff Morris. Deservedly. A wide open 3.
He should be criticized, not,
They give him $15 million a three specifically to make a three.
And he misses it.
And he can't make a single one. Like, he made one that game, at least that I saw. We also watched halftime 2 times because of some technical difficulties. We missed
Sam, if you're watching, it's not your fault.
Yeah, that kind of sucked, though. Might not be anyone's fault, but it still kind of sucked.
It did.
But Danny Green was trash. Markieff Morris basically threw it to nobody. You say Bam pushed him, but you're never supposed to throw Anthony Davis shouldn't be able to back down Bam Adebayo 2 feet in order to catch that ball. You're supposed to throw it to Anthony Davis, not to Anthony Davis 2 feet inside of him.
I understand that, but we don't know what would have happened if the push didn't happen. I'm gonna I'm gonna put a video right now on the podcast. Look at it. Tell me what you think. Anybody who's watching, tell us what you think. I think that it definitely affected the play. Wasn't a good play by Markieff. Could have been better. But with 3 seconds left, a push down low, and obviously Danny missed it. I don't think Markieff should be getting really the majority of any hate. So
really, I think it was a pretty poor pass. I think it was less of Bam pushing Anthony Davis because he's only using his forearm. And it's not like Anthony Davis was in the air or anything. So I think if Anthony Davis was really trying to back him down, he could have. But if you're a big and you're trying to catch the ball, you want to release out so that you're going to be able to catch the ball. You're not going to be able to back the guy up 2 feet and catch the ball 2 feet inside the paint. So, I think it was just a miscue. I mean, the fact that the Lakers even got the offensive rebound, I mean, at least they got it. I mean, Markieff Morris is the one that created that extra opportunity. I know he's also the one that kind of ruined it, but
I don't want to make it seem like he made the best play he could have. There were probably better plays for Markieff to make.
I mean, LeBron was wide open on the 3-point line.
Yeah, it wasn't a three. It was a mid-range. It was a mid-range shot. I remember seeing that. But I think that AD's a big guy. He threw it pretty high up. If AD was still standing straight up and hadn't just been pushed, he maybe could have got it. We don't know. At the end of the day, it is Markieff Morris's fault. So.
Yeah, but I mean, death threats, of course, are something you never want to see for anyone. But with Danny Green, I can't say I didn't see it.
He should be professionally criticized. But not, bang, bang, I'm going to kill your wife. I don't think
anyone agrees with that, but that is a shot that he's paid.
People were saying LeBron did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's really stupid. I mean, on that play when LeBron drove, every single Miami defender, all 5 of the people on Miami's team went onto LeBron. LeBron gave it to the best statistical shooter on the team in their career, not the game, obviously. But he gave it to him, and that's happened before. I mean, Jordan did it, Kobe did it.
And I mean,
know
wide
a lot
open
of people
too.
Wide open.
It's not contested whatsoever.
I was really damn, Danny. Really?
If you're LeBron, you got to live by that and die by that. I mean, that's a wide open 3-point shot from one of the better 3-point shooters.
LeBron did the best thing he could.
I mean,
100%.
He's got 4 guys on him. It was the right play. At the same time, I mean, of course, Damian Lillard says he would have taken that shot, but it's the right play to make. I saw that on Twitter. Yeah, it's the right play to make.
Damian Lillard's not even getting down low.
But there's also a reason Damian Lillard's not he's not in the finals.
He lost, so.
Yeah. The finals this year really entertaining. I think the Heat were really due for a big game from Duncan Robinson. I mean, you could even argue, him and Jimmy Butler were basically the reason they won that last game.
For sure. Duncan's shooting was incredible. I was really impressed.
So today's Sunday, the 11th. So tonight's Game 6. This could be the end of the series, right? Don't they play tonight?
I'm in our fantasy league. I'm gonna pick the Heat. I'm gonna do it.
Really?
I'm gonna pick the Heat. I wanna enjoy my experience watching. And if they win, I win. I don't want it. Beach has said multiple times he doesn't want it to go to I kind of agree with him. A 1v1 isn't what this was about. So
just for some context, really fast. So us 2 and our friends have
I kind of forgot that
basketball picking league or whatever. And so we've picked all the picks in the bubbles, all the games. And Archer and Braden, our other friend, he's on the pod. You guys know who Braden is. He's on the podcast pretty often. But
We're
They're
tied for the
tied right
most
now.
games picked correctly at 101 out of 100
Yeah.
and what, 60 something.
So they're both tied, and they were saying if it ends in a tie, they're gonna have to do a 1v1. They both picked the Lakers last game, but Archer, you're now saying you're gonna pick the Heat.
I'm gonna go
Why?
Heat. I'm gonna go Heat.
Why do you?
I have
I, what confidence has been? Why do you think?
First off, another thing is we saw Jamal Murray and the Nuggets come back twice from 3-1. And something about the bubble atmosphere, I've seen this said by multiple people, and I agree. Something about the bubble atmosphere is different from being in a stadium with fans screaming at you. It's different because you don't have that same amount of pressure. There's still pressure, but it's not the same amount. I think Jimmy's hungry enough to continue to play like this. And Bam was not even fully healthy last game. He didn't play in as many minutes as he could have, and he didn't look like he was fully healthy. I think he might be a little bit better tonight. And I think they were this close without Bam. They're going to be even closer with Bam. So
that's a fair assessment. The only thing I would say is if LeBron loses, he's not going to lose 3-1. I think if he's up 3-1, he's not going to lose. And
I didn't say they were going to win the finals, but they could still win Game 6.
But, they can still win Game 6, but I just don't think a Game 7 is going to happen. You say Jamal Murray and them, of course, win those 3-1 series, but, they lost to LeBron when they were down 3-1. He ended that little streak. I don't think that this Lakers team is – there's too much talent between him and Anthony Davis to lose this series. I know the Heat, I would argue, probably have – LeBron and Anthony Davis are probably the two best – LeBron's definitely the best player in the series. I would say AD is probably the second best, and Jimmy's close behind at third. But once you get after those top two guys, honestly, you could say all the Heat starters are better than everyone on the Lakers. Dwight Howard's been solid, but, I would argue Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, all those guys are better than
Tyler's been pretty non-showy uppy.
But he also was the reason that they were in a game. He had 36 one game.
Not against the Lakers.
I think he did against the Lakers. I could be wrong.
No.
Let me check really fast. We can get a fact check. He blew up one game against the Lakers.
Pretty sure that was the Celtics. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I'll look it up too. Double fact check.
All right, let's see what happens.
God, freaking Basketball Reference. Something about it is just so clean.
Let's see if I can find it.
Per game, 2019-2020. Game log, playoffs.
Yeah, Tyler Hero breaks rookie record in win versus Lakers.
Oh, wow. 37 against Boston. No, 37 against Boston. He hasn't scored over 20 except for game 5.
Did he have 26?
No, he had 21.
Okay, well, then I'm thinking of the Boston game.
You're thinking of the 37-point Boston game.
Yeah.
He has not really showed up against the Lakers. One thing I have to say about my pick for the Heat that could – I have plenty of time to change it. So, I don't know. I'm definitely on the edge, but I think I'm going to pick the Heat. Duncan Robinson put them in that game with his shooting. That's not a given. He might not do that again. It's possible. Fair. So, what did he hit? 8 threes?
You can't just get 8 threes every night.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Duncan could easily not hit 5. So, it's a risk I'm willing to take. I also think this is just a good way to put it to rest. I don't think a 1v1 is – obviously, I would destroy Beach, so I don't want it to be unfair.
Beach has been saying he beat you. I'm not trying to stir the pot here, but –
I don't know if he's correct in that assessment. He doesn't have a basketball goal on the back of his court.
I personally would like to see the 1v1 because then we can record it. Just think about it. Everyone watching right now.
That's true. Maybe we'll even do it for the content.
If you guys want to see it, throw it down in the comments. I'll give you a slight little analysis here. Archer stands at 6'3", 180 pounds.
I'm a full-on beast. You basically think of my game. My game is Jason Tatum mixed with Nikola Jokic mixed with LaMarcus Aldridge. Those are my three guys.
But then you've got Braden, who's 6'1", 170. Okay, and Braden's
170?
He said he was 170.
Dang. So I'm not going to be able to post him up.
No, you can post him up.
I'm sure I could.
Braden's a shooter. Archer's more of a bruiser and mid-range technician.
I would say I'm a mid-range sharpshooter, and I've been scooting that baby back. I'm sorry, I'm like Tatum in 2019.
Well, you guys would. There's no way on earth Braden would let you play on your court. Archer is a nice court that he likes playing on.
Yeah, so one thing is the incline is going to be weird to not play on. We'll see. We might have to play at the church by Ryan, but
yeah. So regardless, I would be very entertained by that.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
But I'm not going to force it. Okay. But this Heat. So basically, the winner gets like $128, right?
Yeah.
So this is big time for Archer and Braden. So
all right.
I guess the best of luck to both of them tonight. So as of now, Archer's got the Heat, Braden's got the Lakers.
Subject to change. One more thing I wanted to say, just the last little tidbit.
Yeah.
The Heat have played with 7 people. There's only been 7 people that have played. Like last game, 7 people played. I know it's the finals. I think maybe putting like Derrick Jones Jr. in the rotation for a couple minutes every once in a while can give some rest and give really good defense. Like, one second, I got to plug my computer in. But I think Derrick Jones Jr. brings more defense to the table than Duncan Robinson. You know what I mean? Like,
that's totally fair. I would say Duncan Robinson on the court is a defensive liability. Whenever LeBron switches, I mean, really even near Duncan Robinson, he tries to drive every time. Although I will say Duncan Robinson's defensive rotations have gotten a lot better since those first 2 games. I think that's a big reason these last 3 games have been a lot more competitive. Just because, I mean, every time LeBron would get a screen from whoever was guarding Duncan Robinson, they'd switch those first 2 games. But, recently he's been showing switch, but then has been going back to his other defender. He's the other offensive guy.
Yeah, Duncan's a bad defender, and Derrick
I personally think the reason that they've been in these last 3 games is because Duncan Robinson has been a better defender. And it's not necessarily that he's playing better defense, just that he's playing smarter defense. He's not on those screens, at least the Heat made the adjustment. Duncan Robinson doesn't switch anymore. He stays on his guy. Like, he'll move over to LeBron, but he makes sure that Jimmy comes back over to guard LeBron, or someone else comes over to guard LeBron. Duncan Robinson doesn't guard him anymore. And if he does, it's very rare occasion.
I just think Derrick Jones, maybe Duncan's defense has been better. But when Duncan's tired and he can't play the best defense he can, or can't shoot as well as he can usually if he's fully rested, Derrick gives another element of defense. He's a better defender. I think that's a given.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
He's more athletic. He can run the fast break really well.
That is one the Heat have really struggled with, but I don't think that that's the Heat's strength. I don't think they should look to push it, especially.
I've been seeing some good defensive plays from Jimmy at the top of the key. He's stealing the ball. I've seen some things like that they haven't been able to fully capitalize on. Like that Tyler Hero, when he missed that wide open layup with AD, or somebody was on him.
There's AD behind him, yeah.
Something like that. I feel like if Derrick Jones Jr. was on the court, he would be running back there with him, especially because they're not going to give him 20 minutes. They're going to give him 10.
Yeah, that's fair. It's tough for the Heat just because with their lack of size, it's harder for them to get rebounds. So the Lakers can afford to go in transition and potentially get the ball stolen or throw it out of bounds or have a missed shot or something. But the Heat really play on a lot less possessions just because they can't get offensive rebounds like the Lakers can. So it's really tough for the Heat to, get extra possessions. So they have to kind of savor every possession, make sure they can get the best shot they can. I mean, sometimes that's in transition, but if you're running in transition, you're also a lot more, exposed to turning the ball over or getting blocked from behind or something.
For sure, especially when you don't practice it in game as much. But that's going to do it for this podcast. Do you have anything else to add?
Just let us know if you guys want the 1v1 between Braden and Archer. I personally
we'll put it in the video what I choose. We'll put it in.
Yeah, we'll make another little 30-second video or something. Who knows?
Well, I think I'll just put text either in the description. Check the description of this video, and you can see what I picked.
It's gonna be intense regardless. I think
that's true.
Tonight's game, the winner the winner wins. That's about it.
It's just, do I have more faith in the Heat or my basketball abilities right now? I don't know. We'll see.
Really?
I've only been playing basketball for 2 years, Peyton. Braden has been playing for most of his life, I assume. So we'll see.
I don't think Braden has, actually. He's been playing, but he hasn't been like playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. The lie and stuff. But all right. We'll catch you next time.